I think the budget was a disaster this year. I think it's symptomatic of how broken things are in Sacramento. And I think it's symptomatic of the fact that we have too many Republicans that line themselves on the right and too many Democrats that align themselves on the left, and they're not working together to get the people's job done. I mean, when you take a look at where we are with the budget, we've tried borrowing our way out of it, and we're further in debt today than we've ever been. And all we did this year was do some of the same. We borrowed our way. We used accounting gimmicks, and people are already talking about the deficit next year. I think it's just going to continue to grow, and it's going to get worse if we don't sit down and work together to solve the problems in a real way. I think we need to dig in. I think we need to look at every line item in the budget. We need to take a look at how we can operate more efficiently, how we can eliminate waste, whether programs are needed, whether they're redundant. And then I think we need to ask ourselves, what are those essential services that we need to fund that people value and think are important, and we need to figure out a way to fund them. And we need to be honest with people. When you take a look at what happened this year, I mean, Schwarzenegger started out saying, in January, saying we're just going to cut 10% across the board, and he took a lot of flack for that. He came back and said, okay, I realize we need a revenue increase, let's securitize the lottery. He took flack for that. The Democrats came up with their proposal. Schwarzenegger came up with a couple others, and it took the Republicans over 2 months to even come up with their first proposal. And to me, that's just not acceptable. That's not the way you do the people's work and get the job done. Well, I've been on school board for 18 years, and I'm very familiar with unfunded state mandates, and I don't think they should be allowed. I mean, I think that if you're going to demand a service or make a promise, that you have to follow through and deal with that. And if you take a look at San Joaquin County and all you're having to deal with the foreclosure crisis and the way the economy is hitting you, it's completely unacceptable for the state not to live up to its part of the deal and provide that money to you. At this point in time, I don't support the Peripheral Canal. My number one priorities for the Delta are, one, making sure we have an adequate water supply for Northern California, and two, that we do all we can to protect the Delta and the environment. And I want to say this, I want to give credit to Schwarzenegger for appointing the Blue Ribbon Commission that he appointed, because he included on that even Darrell Eisenberg, who opposed the Peripheral Canal back in 1982. The Blue Ribbon Commission issued its preliminary report last November, its findings. It's issued a draft report, and it hasn't even issued its final report yet. So to me, to talk about how we're going to fix the Delta without even having the final report and having the discussions around that, I think is premature. I think we need to, we've got some tremendous expertise on that panel, and I think we need to let them finish their job and give us their recommendations, and then we need to have a healthy discussion around that.